What is up, guys? I'm Chris with Palmer Aquatics, and I'm going to bring you on today's journey of building an aquarium racking system / shelving system for 10-gallon aquariums. In this particular shelf here, we're going to house a bunch of 10-gallon aquariums next to each other, 3 tiers high. So in total, this shelf is going to hold 6 10-gallon aquariums. Hopefully that makes sense. I gotta say, I've built so many different types of aquarium racking that I'm completely obsessed with the idea of kind of stacking tanks on top of each other, kind of like what a local fish store would do. I've done dual 6-foot 125s, quad 75-gallon tanks. I've done it all when it comes to stacking or racking aquariums. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 2 10-gallon aquariums side by side, and I'm going to do 3 tiers tall. And the reason I'm doing this or building it this way is because this is the space that I'm allowed to have right in my office here. When it comes to building these aquarium racking systems, measurements are everything. So just take your time, and what I like to do is literally just cut the pieces of wood and set them on the tanks, because a lot of times, you know, you think you know what the measurements are, and a lot of times you get halfway through building it and you're just like, well, what the heck happened? You know, I thought I had this right. I've learned just put the boards on top of the tanks, because the tank doesn't lie, and a lot of times it's hard to figure on like the trim, because a lot of times on aquariums the trim kind of sticks out like a 1/4 inch farther out than the glass. Just, you know, put the wood on the aquarium trim and just make sure it fits. The next advice I'd give you is to get some power tools. You know, you're obviously going to need a drill, some wood glue. I have a framing nailer. It really helps kind of throw these together a lot quicker. Sometimes though, wood cracks on you with like pneumatic tools, and you're kind of just stuck pre-drilling the holes. Another trick I've learned through the years when building these aquarium racks is to use wood glue on your builds. Whatever lumber you're using, if it's wood, it sticks with wood glue. Wood glue enables, you know, like you can use wood screws, but when you introduce the wood glue to it, this stuff does not move. Like, I highly advise you use wood glue. I usually strictly use 2x4s or 2x3s when I build my aquarium rack systems, but I tried to save some money on this, and I used some old reclaimed pallet wood, and this stuff is a complete nightmare. It's twisted up, it's got nails all over it, and I figured I could get by using it because I was just going to paint it black, or actually in this case I'm going to stain it black, but still I'm highly regretting this choice because I probably saved maybe $15 to $20 on this choice, and I paid the price because I had a lot more time invested. But yeah, this rack system is coming out pretty well. You can see exactly where the 10-gallon aquariums are going to be placed, and what I did was I kind of just built it against the pond over there because it was a flat, straight surface, and I highly advise you kind of try to build it against a flat, straight surface. It kind of helps give you the structure. So here I am putting in the centerpiece of the middle tanks. As you can see, this is exactly where all 6 aquariums are going to sit. I put a center brace in between each level because that's where the middle of the 2 10-gallon tanks will sit. And even though it probably doesn't need it, I always try to overbuild everything just because, you know, aquariums are full of water. And water is 8 pounds per gallon, and it adds up quick. I usually paint my aquarium racks black, but in this case, I decided to go with something a little different, and I went with a black stain. I had to apply 3 coats of stain to get it as dark as I desired, but the turnout looks pretty good. So here is the finished product, guys. It's finally in my office. It's been a long battle. The staining took a little longer than I anticipated, but here are the 10-gallon tanks finally on the rack. There's 6 of them, so I have a lot of things to fill. Maybe some nanofish, some shrimp, some rams, snails. Like, what should I put in these tanks? Well, guys, here I am editing this video, and the rack is right next to me. How ironic, right? Well, not really, but guys, the rack turned out awesome. I love this thing. It's just kind of surreal because my office is right here, my desk, and I just love it. I'm gonna be able to just look over. The aquarium racking system is truly the way to go, especially if like your loved one, your spouse, doesn't want tanks all over the house. You can do a rack like this, 6 10-gallon or 6 20-gallon tanks, and it's just like, you might be able to call it one tank, right? Or one spot where you put them. Maybe you tell her that's just one long tank, but it's actually 6 of them. The racking system, aquarium racks are the best route to go. My only downfall to this rack is the space at the bottom of this 10-gallon tank right here is a little short, but sometimes that happens. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know if you're planning on building a 10-gallon aquarium racking system or like just a shelf. I want to hear from you guys. I love hearing from you guys when I do these videos. I don't know, what else is there to say? I had something to say. Yeah, the 10-gallon tank, man, there's just so much, there's so many cool avenues you can go. You can keep so many 10s. Like, you could get a pretty decent sized shelf and have like 20 10-gallon tanks. And I don't know, I could rave about 10-gallon tanks all day. Guys, let me know in the comments what you're thinking of a 10-gallon aquarium racking system, shelving, whatever you want to call it.